A coffee helps, our stories grow. Check the link in the description.
The Roman Doctrine. Now, inasmuch as whatever pertains to sacred worship is intimately connected with its object and cannot have either consistency or durability if this object is vague or uncertain, our predecessors, the Roman pontiffs, therefore, while directing all their efforts towards an increase of the devotion to the conception, made it their aim not only to emphasize the object with the utmost zeal, but also to enunciate the exact doctrine. Definitely and clearly they taught that the feast was held in honor of the conception of the Virgin. They denounced as false and absolutely foreign to the mind of the Church the opinion of those who held and affirmed that it was not the conception of the Virgin, but her sanctification that was honored by the Church. They never thought that greater leniency should be extended toward those who, attempting to disprove the doctrine of the Immaculate Conception of the Virgin, devised a distinction between the first and second instance of conception, and inferred that the conception which the Church celebrates was not that of the first instance of conception, but the second. In fact, they held it was their duty not only to uphold and defend with all their power the feast of the conception of the Blessed Virgin, but also to assert that the true object of this veneration was her conception considered in its first instant. Hence the words of one of our predecessors, Alexander VII, who authoritatively and decisively declared the mind of the Church, quote, concerning the Most Blessed Virgin Mary, Mother of God, ancient indeed is that devotion of the faithful, based on the belief that her soul, in the first instant of its creation and in the first instant of the soul's infusion into the body, was, by a special grace and privilege of God, in view of the merits of Jesus Christ, her Son and the Redeemer of the human race, preserved free from all stain of original sin. And in this sense have the faithful ever solemnized and celebrated the feast of the Conception. Close quote. Moreover, our predecessors considered it their special solemn duty with all diligence, zeal, and effort to preserve intact the doctrine of the Immaculate Conception of the Mother of God. For not only have they in no way ever allowed this doctrine to be censured or changed, but they have gone much further, and by clear statements repeatedly asserted that the doctrine by which we profess the Immaculate Conception of the Virgin is on its own merits entirely in harmony with the ecclesiastical veneration, that it is ancient and widespread, and of the same nature as that which the Roman Church has undertaken to promote and to protect, and that it is entirely worthy to be used in the sacred liturgy and solemn prayers. Not content with this, they most strictly prohibited any opinion contrary to this doctrine to be defended in public or private, in order that the doctrine of the Immaculate Conception of the Virgin might remain inviolate. By repeated blows they wished to put an end to such an opinion, and lest these oft-repeated and clearest statements seem useless, they added a sanction to them.
Getting lost in the chapters? There's more behind the scenes. Join my mailing list, link down below. See you there. Thanks for being part of this audiobook journey. Upgrade to the premium ad-free editions. No commercials, no disruptions, just pure narrations. Plus, you'll be funding the next audiobook. It's a small one-time purchase, and the link is right below. Don't wait, grab them now and hear the difference.